Post-match interview here at the Erie following tonight's 1-0 defeat to Rayners Lane. Dave, what was your thoughts on it? I feel after what was a outstanding performance from us on Monday, and we left our shooting boots at home. Tonight we left our shooting boots at home again, and then ended up not getting anything from the game.
It's the same old. We made enough chances to win it enough times over. At this present stage, like you say, we're leaving our shooting boots at home. I haven't really got the answer to it, if I'm honest with you, because we play our way and we create opportunities, and we've hit the bar where the goalkeeper's made 3 or 4 great saves, or brave saves, and we've had opportunities that we should tuck away and we haven't tucked them away, and it's like, I don't really know the answer, if I'm honest with you, bar getting me, cashing me pension and getting another and getting a forward in, because that's probably the only answer I can think, you know. We just had a big discussion in the change room, you know, with the 2 or 3 senior players, and it's quite difficult, you know. We're about youngsters because of how we have to run. So we're at this present stage, you know, we've you know, we said about it on Monday, haven't we? If we've got BJ Christian in our side on Monday, we win the game. If BJ's playing for us today, we win the game. But those guys command quite a fee, you know, and you know, we're not lucky enough to have that sort of talent at the club, if you like. We weren't able to play Alex tonight. He got quite a bruised foot from Monday. We could have potentially had him on the bench, but then we're taking a risk. But we had enough there to win the game. We made enough chances to win the game. We just can't put the thing across the line at this present stage, and we've got to overcome it. I mean, we are scoring goals. We scored 4 at Levy last week. We scored in the week, but today we couldn't take the chances, even to the end. I mean, it probably took us to the last 20, maybe 15 to get going at our real pace once we brought players on and changed the sort of dynamics of the side. And I thought we was causing real problems, but they had something to hang on to at that point, and they were quite clever with what they did. You know, they were brave in their defending, albeit we made the opportunities, one near the end, which doesn't quite run through to Temi, I think. Another one that we play a clever free kick routine and it drops to Laurie, who just can't prod it home, and that kind of summed up how the game was going for us. It was like it was never just.
It was almost the harder we tried, the more it just wasn't happening for us.
And it felt like that. I mean, I'm not going to lie. From my point of view today, you know, I didn't know where we could get a goal from. It didn't feel it was going to happen. You know, after the early stages of the first half, we made real good chances. Still had so much of the ball. Their only threat to us was us, because we gave them the ball twice for them to go through. Our only threat to us in the second half was us, because we originally gave the ball away up front. We then win it back and give it away. Then we give it away. Then we pass it away a 3rd time, and then we, instead of putting a foot through the ball in our box, we don't. And they nick a goal out of it from a side that I don't think we're going to score if they'd have been there all day. You know, even when we put them clean through 1-on-1 in the first half twice, and then looked like it's scoring a million years. So we've put ourselves in that position. But in the end, you know, we made that 3rd error, albeit about 4 players involved in it. And I think it almost looked like it squirmed the other way because Blade was wrong-footed. But we've had opportunities to clear that. It's so frustrating, you know, because it's our Achilles heel again. It's the bottom side of the league. You're playing the poorest side of the league, and you're giving up all your points to them. You know, we've dropped. It's only our 2nd defeat, and we've dropped points to teams that we should have beaten, and we keep dropping points to teams we should get results against. So, don't really, you know, the answer isn't probably sitting in our hand at the moment. Sage, we may have Raf back on Saturday, give us a nice balance. and put some pressure in other areas. And he's a massive miss. If we can get him back in the side, he'll give us, as you say, the balance we need. Moves Alex into probably a more central role, which is better for us, and maybe that might be an answer to it. But we've got to find an answer to, we've got to get the key to the door. And at the moment, we certainly didn't possess it tonight.
You mentioned Alex obviously not being in the squad tonight. We made 5 changes in total from Monday. Do you think that had any bearing in what happened tonight, or I think we can accept we created enough chances to win the game anyway, but for me we didn't have the level of intensity that I felt that we had for long periods of the game on Monday.
I agree, but then me and Skip can't sit here every week and say to you that we feel we've got a squad that are all good enough to play if we're not going to be prepared to play.
Yeah, agreed.
And if you can't sit there tonight, and we both discussed it, if we're not going to play them lads tonight, then what's the point? And as you say, we've made George Bailey's had 2 great chances. The lads waited a fair time to get a run. We gave them a run tonight. Is it George of old at the moment? Of course it's not George of old at the moment, but then 2 great bits of play to get him on the ball. It's the bar with 1. And as I said to you, the goalkeeper was out so quick. He literally had a split second to get his shot away, and the guy smothered it. He done some decent stuff. I thought there was parts of the game where Charlie was excellent. But, they've all, Billy's had started at the back. Billy's done fine. We know what Billy's going to do every week for us. So, no, look, as I say, if we're not going to play them, we're never going to play them. And they was in a side tonight that had made enough chances to win a game of football. The same as the 5 lads that came out the side were in the same side on Monday that made enough chances to win a game of football. So to look at them would be, for me, very wrong.
Skip, we were talking before we came on about possible penalty awards. We have had a lot of penalties this season, but could we have had another one tonight, do you feel?
Yeah, we could have done, but that's only papering over today's cracks, if I'm honest with you. As you say, yeah, one of them. We've created enough chances. I think it's a mental thing sometimes because we dropped so many points last year. If you look at the bottom 6, we dropped enough points against the bottom 6 from last year's league table that we would have ended up in the playoffs. It was always a concern today. We don't seem to raise our game as we should, but what I will do is, you give Rayners Lane tonight, you have to give them credit because they've come down here on a Friday night, it's pouring with rain, they're on a bad run, at the bottom of the table, and they've worked their socks off. So yeah, they probably did we deserve to win. We had enough chances to, but when you look at effort, desire, commitment from Rayners Lane, you have to take your hat off to them, fair play to them, and they probably deserved the 3 points just through the sheer desire. Dare I say, to keep a clean sheet. They rode their luck, but if you work hard enough, you earn that bit of luck. So fair play to them. Just wasn't their night.
Bradley Bell, we obviously put out the time before kick-off. He came on in the second half. How do you think he did?
Yeah, I mean, he came on at a time when we'd lost our composure, if I'm honest with you. We weren't doing the simple things. The one thing we said at half time was be patient and just keep it, and we didn't. So he's come on. We've conceded quite soon after he's come on, and then nothing to do with Bradley, but we've lost discipline. We've lost our shape. We just started to force it. We weren't playing with any freedom, so it'll be hard to judge him on that performance because I think at the time, all the experienced players that we got were just making the wrong options, wrong decisions. We still created chances, by the way, but we were trying to force the ball where you're just thinking an extra pass wide and getting behind them, which is what we did first half, which for me, and Dave mentioned it at half time as well, was always the concern is just be patient, because we will get chances, but as soon as you can see the soft goal, because we had four separate opportunities to clear that ball, and you just know you're playing against if that had been other sides at the top of the table defending that, there'd have been somebody just sticking their foot straight through it with an attitude of we haven't conceded, we're getting a point, and we will get a goal at some point at the other end if we just play as we can. So he done all right, but yeah, just come on at a time when I think we just lost a bit of shape, lost a bit of discipline, as I said.
Okay. Obviously, we've got just over a week until our next game now, so it's probably an opportunity just to give the legs a little bit of a recharge in the squad, and hopefully get, as you say, Raf back and some other bodies. So that might do us a favour, like in what has been a busy period for us. So we are back in action next Saturday against AFC Dunstable, and then we're back here on the following Monday against MK Irish. Commiserations, gents. Try and enjoy your weekend, and we'll go again next weekend.
Thank you.
Thanks, Lee.